Today we're taking a look at these three NBA matches: Brooklyn Nets vs Toronto Raptors, Minnesota Timberwolves vs Houston Rockets, and Golden State Warriors vs Dallas Mavericks, which are happening on Tuesday, April 27, 2021, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. So I am going to start off by talking about the Brooklyn Nets vs Toronto Raptors match. One of those matchups is the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference taking on the number 12 team in the Eastern Conference. Brooklyn last played on Sunday when they took down the Phoenix Suns 128-119 on their home court. Toronto last played last night when they destroyed the Cavaliers 112-96 on their home court in Tampa. The organization meets for the third time this season, and most recently Toronto defeated Brooklyn 114-103 only 6 days ago. In the last matchup, the Toronto Raptors were favored by -4.5 points, and the game total closed at 231 points. For tonight's contest, Toronto is +6.5 point home dog, and the total this time is sitting a little lower at 231.5 points. A team like the Nets especially wants to build a little more momentum with the revolving door their roster has been forced to endure throughout the season. The crazy part is they're still the number 1 ranked team in the Eastern Conference. Kevin Durant's return on Sunday night was just a teaser to the mayhem he's going to cause in Tuesday's meeting with the Raptors. You can rest assured the Nets will be hellbent on blowing the Raptors out of the water after losing back-to-back games to them this season. Toronto has shown some life in recent outings, but they can't compete with the firepower of the scoring machine in Durant and the human highlight reel in Irving. It isn't even fair. The Suns are one of the best two-way teams in the league, and they got crushed by a Nets team that didn't even start Durant. He sat back and watched the early part of the game before coming off the bench and dropping 33 points like it was nothing. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Brooklyn Nets. The Toronto Raptors have been in great shape as they've won 5 of their past 6 games, and they will be hoping to stay hot after routing the Cavaliers in a 112-96 home win last night. Pascal Siakam led the team with 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. OG Anunoby added 20 points on 9 of 15 shooting, while Malachi Flynn chipped in with 18 points and 5 assists off the bench. As a team, the Raptors shot a healthy 54% from the field and 8 of 29 from the three-point line as they looked to be in trouble after scoring just 16 points in the second quarter, before taking over in the second half where they poured in 63 points. My second betting advice for that game is to pick over 231. Now I'm going to be talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves vs Houston Rockets match. The Timberwolves do appear to have a plan in place, building around Karl-Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and D'Angelo Russell. The Rockets appear to be completely retooling after giving up James Harden in a trade, but the long-term plans are still unclear at this time. That's part of the reason for the Rockets' 3-game losing streak coming into tonight's game. Houston lost its last game to Denver 129-116 while playing with just 7 players. DJ Wilson led the Rockets with 25 points, while Kelly Olynyk added 21. Kenyon Martin scored 18 for Houston, which trailed by 22 at halftime and never made a game of it. The Timberwolves are on a much different trajectory. Although the playoffs aren't in their future this season, the Wolves followed up an impressive 101-96 win over the Western Conference leading Utah Jazz on Saturday with a 105-104 win over the Jazz last night. D'Angelo Russell came off the bench to lead the Wolves with 27 points and 12 assists. Karl-Anthony Towns recorded 21 points, 11 rebound double-double, and Anthony Edwards scored 14 points and grabbed 9 rebounds in 38 minutes. The two teams have split their games this season. Minnesota took the first game 107-101 on March 26 behind a 29-point, 16-rebound effort by Karl-Anthony Towns. The Rockets got revenge the very next night, winning 129-107. Kevin Porter Jr. led the Rockets with 25 points, while John Wall added 13 points and 12 assists. It comes with the territory of having the number of the top-ranked team in the Western Conference. The Rockets were already in a bad place before the injuries. Now they're playing with a short-handed roster that won't be able to keep up with a Timberwolves team that has looked shaky all season. But they still have a star big man in Karl-Anthony Towns to give Houston's Christian Wood all sorts of problems. They also have a possible future star in rookie Anthony Edwards, along with a proven scorer in D'Angelo Russell coming off the bench. My one Saint betting advice for that game is to pick Minnesota Timberwolves. The Houston Rockets have been in a real slump as they've now lost 14 of their past 16 games, and they will be hoping to put a halt to a 4-game skid after getting routed by the Nuggets in a 129-116 road loss on Saturday. DJ Wilson led the team with 25 points, 8 rebounds and 4 assists. Kelly Olynyk racked up 21 points with 8 rebounds and 11 assists. Anthony Lamb scored 21 points off the bench while Kenyon Martin Jr. chipped in with 18 points. As a team, the Rockets shot 50% from the field and 15 of 40 from the three-point line as they struggled to keep up with the Nuggets right from the start and quickly found themselves trailing by 22 points at halftime. My second betting advice for that game is to pick over. Now I'm going to be talking about the Dallas Mavericks versus Golden State Warriors match. The Dallas Mavericks are 6th in the Western Conference with a 33-26 record. They will be on the second half of a back-to-back as they played in Sacramento against the Kings on Monday. The Golden State Warriors are 10th in the Western Conference with a 31-30 record. They are on a 2-game winning streak after defeating the Sacramento Kings on Sunday with a 117-113 win. These teams are very similar statistically on both sides of the floor, so it will be interesting to see which team can go on a bit of a run. Let's dive into the matchup to decide where we are going to be placing our wagers. Published before last night's game. They will be playing the second game of back-to-back nights and have a number of injuries, including their top 2 scorers. While both may return either Monday or Tuesday, you have to figure that it is going to take each of them a little time to get back in the rhythm, which gives Golden State a huge edge here. Curry is on fire right now and Green is not adding much in terms of scoring, but has been rebounding and assist machine of late. I like the Warriors to dominate in this game. While these teams split their first 2 games, the Warriors' offense exploded for an average of 139.5 points per game while shooting over 44% from beyond the arc in each game. The Warriors should generate a high volume of quality looks from beyond the arc again, and I trust their shooters much more than those on the Mavericks, especially with Doncic and Hardaway slumping from beyond the arc. My first betting advice for that game is to pick Warriors. The Golden State Warriors have been in great shape as they've won 7 of their past 9 games, and they will be gunning for a 3rd straight win after sneaking past the Kings in a 117-113 home win on Sunday. Stephen Curry drained 7 3-pointers on his way to 37 points with 7 rebounds and 4 assists. Kelly Oubre Jr. added 19 points off the bench. Andrew Wiggins scored 13 points while Draymond Green scored 8 points with 14 rebounds and 13 assists. As a team, the Warriors shot 48% from the field and 14 of 36 from the three-point line as they trailed late in the 4th quarter, until they closed the final 142 on a crucial 7-2 run to escape with the hard-fought win. My second betting advice for that game is to pick under. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.